Hello everyone, and today I'm doing quite a different video. We're not going to continue with West Wonders today because we're going to do a completely custom coaster, my first realistic coaster, and this video is not scripted at all, so I'm just going off of what I think and what's in the video. This is a 24-minute video and you're like, oh, B-dubs, that's really long. Skip to 20 minutes. It's only 4 minutes from there. The rest of it's really nice. This is a GCI Gravity Group wooden coaster. And I honestly think I did a really good job with this, and it's honestly just really nice. So, this is Oscar's Wacky Taxi. I don't really know many good examples of good GCI coasters other than that. Yeah, right now I'm feeling pretty under the weather, and I'm actually voicing this over a day after I recorded it. That's how much free time I have, because I can't go to school. My throat is burning. I have a extremely congested nose. It honestly feels horrible. So, now, with the coaster, I feel like for this being my first really realistic coaster, it's snappy kind of, but then it's also smooth in some parts. In some parts, but it's really not that. It's not the best, I should say. The only thing I did an extraordinary job with is the station and transfer building, because I took some inspiration from Western mine buildings with wood with the stone and then metal roofing. Yeah, so it might not be the best coaster, but I do like the theming. So this can run a maximum of 3 cars, but I set it to 2 just to have an extra block zone, because as you just saw there, the train usually stops at the top of the lift hill, because the train in the station block can't make it to the pre-lift before the train in the safety brake, or the transfer track, I guess, gets to it's more the coaster in the station can't get to the lift because it's in the pre-lift, and then the coaster in the transfer safety brake whatever is just stuck there, or it's in between blocks or something. I don't know how it worked. Right now I'm making the transfer track. I made it so it's a pull out of the station, so the station block has to be clear, so you can be in the I guess it would be a safety brake, because it's not a transfer table, it's a switch, and the switch wouldn't even work in the first place because the safety brake is blocking it. So I'm starting here with the station. It's like a mossy brick, which I obviously didn't stick with. If you saw the post I made yesterday about, it just said Friday, which would be the day I'm posting this video. So I posted it the day that I voiced it over, which is today. And yeah, it's confusing. I don't know which tense to speak in, because I'm voicing over this video the day before I release it, and then it's crazy. I feel like I'm having like a one-on-one conversation with you, the viewer, because I usually only have like these in-depth conversations with either myself or the mirror. Yeah. And here I didn't really like the straight yellow curb in the station building. So I just switched it out with some of the Planet Coaster curves, like the ones in the base game where staff can walk through it, but the guests can't. Yeah, I don't know who uses that. I used it like once in actually the next episode of West Wonders, which I do have in the works. It's pretty cool. A lot of water-related things, like a lake and stuff. That's all I'm going to leave you with for the next episode. I might forget and voice it over, because voicing over like these 20-minute videos takes like an hour, because I have to get the mic set up. I need to get the pitch right, because for some reason on this editing app I'm using, I don't really know what it's called. It's not anywhere on the screen. It distorts the pitch just a little, and it's I don't love it. It's not the best thing to have, because like you're speaking in a pretty average tone, and then it just drops. Your voice in the video just drops. It's quite annoying, would be the word, I guess. So here this coaster is more of a hybrid coaster, but not really, because it uses a little bit of steel supporting. Like just a little. Over the paths and over wherever the train crosses over itself, or the track crosses over itself, I guess. So, would that be considered a hybrid coaster if you use the wood, but then a little bit of steel? I feel like that's cheating. Whenever you're trying to make a wooden coaster, like, the wood is pretty weak. And using the steel, that just strengthens it times 10. So I'm kind of avoiding doing the roof in this video. I was honestly stressed about doing it, because whenever I make a station, I either use a pre-built station on the Frontier Workshop, or I just don't have a roof. It's an open-air station. I've never done a custom roof before. So I said go big or go home in the end. I made a completely custom roof. And it turned out amazing. You'll see it here in a second. We're probably getting close. I'm just putting some final touches on the track, and then I think I'm going to start the station building. Maybe. Honestly, let's just talk about something else. The queue. I put some minimal theming onto the queue because, like, I don't want the queue to be the staple of the coaster. I would rather have the ride be the staple of the coaster and have the ride go around the queue. If you have the theming on the ride and the theming in the ride is around the queue, would the queue be themed? Even if that weren't true, I did put a few arches for the entrance, and then as soon as I look up here, there's a custom arch with some lights around it, which are just the vintage lights. And yeah, you can see them like in the background there. Okay, finally I'm starting the roof. I used the Western iron girders, and then I just copied that a few times over to get like this metal roof that you would find in like 1880, early 1900s factory of some sort. And it looks pretty good, especially when I put these smaller ones on top of it. Like, you have the larger ones and then you have the smaller ones. The smaller ones are on a bit more of an incline, which honestly I feel like it looks pretty good. But I feel I could have just extended the larger girders a little to kind of get like a smoother roof, if you would say that. So, I haven't been posting often, usually like at best every other week. This should be one of the videos where I took a break last week and then I posted 2 weeks ago. I'm honestly trying to get back into the rhythm of posting because honestly, I got into that rhythm whenever I did Adventure Africa, and then because those were pretty simple, like they weren't those, like the coaster I'm making now, they weren't that realistic. Like, I didn't add a station or anything. I tried to focus more on the layout, if you know what I mean. So, like, I was pumping those out once or twice a week. But then I started West Wonders, and I was like, how about I study the other Planet Coaster YouTubers, see how they do, and kind of like be a combination of a few of those. So, many of you probably watch Corvus. Right now he's doing Wonder World. I think he's done with it at the time that I'm posting it or you're watching it. I believe he just did his Wild Mouse. And then I think that was the end. It's either that or there's one more video. I don't know. So, I use the Planet Coaster built in Frontier Workshop a lot. And the designers on there, they're great. Like, you just saw me pull up a lot of, like stuff you would find in, like, a gaming hall. Like, pool tables, ice hockey. Not a gaming hall. What's the word? A arcade. Just forgot the word for arcade. Arcade. And then one of the designers did like a one-to-one recreation of Hershey Park, and they added like they reskinned the vending machines to be themed to Reese's and Hershey's bars and Kisses and Twizzlers, all that. I use it all the time in like the campaign parks. Speaking of the campaign, I have been doing the campaign a lot, and it's pretty fun, but it takes a while per park, because some of them you start off with like $10,000, but then the other ones you're broke. You're completely broke. There's loans to fill. There's no park. And it's really tough. I finished like all the easy medium ones. Now I'm on the hard ones, and I was like, oh geez, it's a big leap. And yeah, it's pretty fun though. Here I'm adding like a second fence onto the chain link fence. I know one park that does it. It's Kennywood, and it looks good from the inside and also the outside, because it keeps the theming from the outside, but then the inside is like secure, like has purpose. I honestly feel like I'm rambling on a lot about like the design of the coaster, like other things. I used a lot of the studio stuff, like the generators, the boxes, all of that is from the Studio Game Pass. And it looks pretty good for like realistic things. And yeah, like the air conditioners, the boxes, the cans and cans of stuff. Yeah, it's a lot. It honestly looks really good whenever you pair it with like a backstage area. And I don't think that Planet Coaster has forklifts. If they did, I feel like I would include it in like this backstage area. Probably not. I'm not gonna bet on it. So right here I'm adding like a chain and like a hook. And my logic is like the train, whenever you tie a train down, it needs somewhere to be tied to. And I know not a lot of parks do that. They just have like brakes on the transfer track, which I also did. But like older coasters with transfer tracks, they had to tie the trains down from the bottom, and like they had to tie them to the ties of the tracks. At least that's what they did for Jackrabbit Racer and Thunderbolt at Kennywood. I've been doing drawings of roller coasters, and so far I've done Top Thrill Dragster, Expedition Everest, Maverick, and Iron Gwazi. And let me know if I should post about those, because they honestly look pretty good. And yeah, they look pretty good. They're with watercolor pencils and markers, so yeah. I couldn't find a flip tool, so whenever I was doing like this custom supporting, which by the way is the first time I've done this, it was very hard because I had to do it section by section by section, and even then, it didn't look very good because like there was gaps and stuff. Like one side was perfect, and then the other side, there's a lot of gaps, and I patched them up with some of the, I believe it was the haunted house pillars or planks, just recolored. And honestly, what I didn't like about what I'm doing right here in this clip, I didn't color it to the built-in supports. I did try to use like the actual Planet Coaster supports to my full advantage, because I didn't want to do a full custom supporting coaster, especially wooden, because that would honestly be too much. I would not have this video out by Friday. And, yeah. Getting to the end of the actual building segment of this video. So I actually think this is the last clip, just adding some colors and structural stability. Really nice brown and red. Might do another one of these, but anyways, see you next week.